here's the deal, or here's where I get a little, curious as to how this just came about with Cassie. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so
one of the questions that come to mind is, who are her lawyers? And exactly how did she get the money for that? This is a big case, a big settlement, high profile. It's in the media, this is a big deal. This is some Johnny Cochran, OJ Simpson trial shit. Like, her lawyer is on that level, you know what I'm saying? So that's a cost, how does she get introduced to them? These are some of the questions that, me myself came up with, you know what I'm saying? And went a little further with it. So here goes. Okay, so who is Cassie's lawyer? Who is Cassie's lawyer? And it says Cassie's attorney, Douglas Wigdor, hopefully I'm saying it right, says Diddy attempted to silence Cassie by offering her a large amount of money, but she refused to accept. Diddy's lawyer has now released another statement saying Mr. Combs' decision to settle should not be viewed as an admission of wrongdoing. Now, okay, something your lawyer's supposed to say in the defense of Diddy, you know what I'm saying? And but let's go back to the topic at hand. The lawyer. Who is this guy or this firm or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Douglas H Wigdor. He's referred to by the Financial Times as America's most prominent Me Too lawyer. Douglas H Wigdor routinely tries cases to verdict. He has won numerous multi-million-dollar verdicts and has consistently been recognized as the top employment litigator in the country. To date, his trial verdicts, arbitration awards, and settlements have exceeded $1.5 billion. Now, this guy is very, very important. Me Too is a movement far as women in defense to men, like sexual assault, sexual abuse, all that whatnot on a job or in employment. Because if you notice, one of the most important things about this case is the fact that she didn't sue him as civil. This was something, she sued him as an employee, which really changed the playing field of how Diddy is being defensed. And also it changed the playing field far as rules, far as what Cassie and her attorneys can do, when it's a corporation or insurance and employment is involved. Alright, so one of New York City's most aggressive employment lawyers, Business Week described Douglas as among the top tier of anti-discrimination lawyers. Douglas is widely recognized as a tireless champion of victims of sexual harassment, sexual assault, race discrimination, and other workplace misconduct. From Sean Diddy Combs to Harvey Weinstein to Dominique Strauss-Kahn to the NFL to the Grammys to Madison Square Garden, Douglas has been at the forefront of some of the most impactful sexual abuse and employment discrimination cases of the last 2 decades. Named the top 100 Hollywood power lawyer by the Hollywood Reporter and a top music lawyer by Billboard, Douglas' prolific legal career has been covered in profiles in the New York Times, Bloomberg, Businessweek, and the Independent UK. He has been referred to in these and other major news publications as one of the country's most high-profile litigators. So, as I was saying, this is a high-profile case. As you see, this is a high-profile guy. Harvey Weinstein to the NFL, just so many big corporations, big conglomerates that this guy has represented and is known to be. So, how did Cassie afford to get this big-time prominent lawyer? All right. I went over a few things about Diddy, but let's bring it back a little bit, just to make you privy as to what goes on in this industry. Okay, so let's not forget Ciroc dropped Diddy, you know, or DeLeon dropped Diddy, and Diddy went and sued. Let me repeat, DeLeon is one of the biggest, or if not the biggest, liquor company or liquor brand in the world. And Diddy tried to sue them and say they're racist and all this other stuff. Alright, so that's strike number one. That's strike number one. Now, I've said all the time, numerous times, they're the ones that make you. So what if you're a good actor? So what if you're a good musician? So what if you're a good singer or whatever you do? It's the machine that makes you. So this machine has made Diddy, you know. So when you try to sue the machine or sue them or sue DeLeon company and say they're racist and this and that, in their mind they like, nigga, we made you. How the fuck you gonna sue us and make us look like, you know, we're robbing you or we're this and that? So that's number one. Keep that in mind. Alright. From my understanding, he tried to buy Disney. You know, and Gene Deal said this in an interview, and kind of resonated. As Jay-Z would say, you still a nigga. So him trying to buy Diddy is, him trying to buy Disney is like Bill Cosby trying to buy NBC. Like, nigga, who are you? That's how they looking at you. That's how the controllers of this, that's what I'm gonna call them. The controllers of this, the elites, Illuminati, whatever name you want to call it, you know, they are the ones behind all of this. So, nigga, how dare you put yourself in a position we put you in and think you one of us now? You know, alright? So, alright? Now, the biggest marijuana company in the country stopped doing business with Diddy. Now, these are things that all happened right after each other. You know what I'm saying? One of the biggest marijuana companies, Diddy was set to do some kind of deal, and they pulled the plug. Alright, now, let's go back to DeLeon. Now, is it far-fetched to say they're making him pay so they would reach out to Cassie, or maybe bring a scenario or a situation where they come together and put this in Cassie's ear and say, look, this is what we're finna do, you know, and we're gonna use you to do it. Could be not. But these are questions that, you know, legitimate questions based on the situation at hand that you ask, you know, follow the money, as they say. So if, you know, these companies want to, you know, make him pay, well, this is the ultimate way to do it. You know, the biggest liquor company in the world, liquor brand in the world, they can make calls. Just like Diddy can make a call, they can make calls. You know, their brother is this. You know, their cousin owns that. You know, their uncle owns this. You know, like, this is that world. You know, a tier up from celebrity world. You know, and maybe this is how it came about, because this wasn't regular. You know, this wasn't regular. Like I said, this is a high profile case, and they made sure they crossed every T and dotted every I. And just to let you know how sure that they were, how specific they were, let's listen to someone explain it. I have a video, of course. Let's check it out.
They didn't sue just Diddy. They sued his corporations.
They sure did.
And they sued his corporations and sued in her capacity as an employee. When you do that, it triggers commercial liability insurance.
Yeah.
And it triggers another policy called directors and officers. Okay? And we know he's a director of these companies as the CEO. So now you got two policies. What happens then is it takes away Puffy's ability to settle. It's not his choice no more.
So it's no longer personal accountability. It's his organization.
It's his organization. And it's no different than, like, if you hit somebody with your car. Mm-hmm. Let's say you have State Farm. Mm-hmm. State Farm gets to decide to settle, not you. You could say, I didn't run the stop sign. That's not true. They're lying. If State Farm says, we don't care, we did our investigation, we're settling, that's it. That's what happened here. So because they added those claims, the corporate insurance carrier got to say, read over it and say, oh, hell no, we giving her the money.
We're hearing you. Diddy's public reputation is done.
So, like I said, this was an employment. She sued him as an employee. Corporations, insurance, policies. You know, these are all things that are very, very important. You know what I'm saying? And pretty much comes